It has been a long time since I've posted a video, and I am going to tell you where I've been, but not today. Today, we are going to work on 100 paintings on paper, and I am going to explain the process that I use to create these paintings. I have three piles here. One is the like pile, the next one is the to be continued pile, and the third one is the dislike pile. I am going to actually work on the dislike pile today and kind of explain my process to you. In this dislike pile, I believe that there are never paintings that are too far gone that you can't fix them. They just need a little more love. So, we are going to take a look at these, and with abstract paintings, I think that the problem is always the the bone structure, the composition. And so we're going to work on this. We're going to start carving out the composition. At this point in my art career, this part is very intuitive. So I don't actually give a lot of thought to what I'm doing. I just kind of fill it out. But because you might be new at this, I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you along the way. So you'll notice that I have chosen this beautiful aquamarine color. The reason that I chose it is number one, I'm looking at what is working. And this color for me is working. It's in a lot of these pieces and I want more of it. So when you find something that's working, start adding more of it. That might be more of the same color. That might be more shape or texture. Whatever is working, let's add more of it. Some of the things I'm currently fascinated by are translucency and opacity. So, right now I'm using a very cheap craft paint. It's just a white paint. And I love how it's covering this area, but you can see the layers behind it. It's so fun. It's also gives the painting more interest. The other thing that I love is contrast. So the contrast between fluorescent colors against the dark colors. And the more art you do, the more you're going to find your voice. You notice what you love, what makes you feel happy, or what makes you come back to the page. So mark making, color palette, juxtaposition, these are all parts of your visual language and how you communicate. I like this white paint too because it kind of adds a layer without taking all the other layers away, and it kind of. I'm using mixed media here, and another thing that I'm fascinated by are the ways that different mediums interact with each other. So this pink base, this little mark that I'm covering up right now, is actually water soluble. So it's picking up a little bit of that pink and adding it to the color, which I think is really fun. And that's another thing that fascinates me. Now, our next tip number 2, is ask yourself what is not working. And when you find things that aren't working, cover them up. I do not love white paper. And so even if if I want that to be an area of rest for the eye, I still cover it up with white paint. I just don't like white paper. The only time I break this rule or suggestion is when I'm painting a watercolor only painting. And finally, tip number 3. Where is my eye traveling? Is it getting stuck anywhere? I like to make decisions that are going to help the flow of the painting, or in other words, help your eye move across the painting. So if I'm getting stuck, or I accidentally spill paint on the paper and I need to cover it up, it's just nice to be able to simplify the piece, really. And that is going to help us to have movement flow freely and create a really beautiful composition. So there you have it. Figure out what's working, what's not working, and how the eye is traveling. And if you want more tips on composition or mixed media, show me some love and subscribe. Thanks and happy painting.